Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Christian and I am a software developer and also a university student from the University of Bamenda. So today we are going to be building a to-do app. So this is a preview. So let me just show you how it works. So let's say you create a task called could just say could a to-do app, right? So could a to-do app. From here you can say edit, so you can say to do app using capital letters and you edit, so you see that it has changed from here. You can add the task, like you can add it done, so even the bake some cake, I can put it done too. And also I can just delete the tasks that I've already done like this. And if you notice, whenever I delete a task or add a task, this number here changes. For example, I'll just say drink 3 liters of water per day. You see that the total amount of task is 2 tasks. That's the one that are not yet done, and then the ones that are done. And then there's one that is done, that's this one here. And then the total number that's not, that's this one here. So this is what you are going to be building. Guys, stay tuned and let's open the code. So to do that, as a prerequisite, you need to have Python installed on your machine and with Django installed. So I'm gonna do another tutorial for you, helping you install Django on your machine. If not, this tutorial is not for those who um if not, this tutorial is for those who have this tutorial is meant to help you get master the basics of Django. So we are going to start this project from afresh, and so let's go to the desktop and then cd. Okay, this is my personal directory where I do my projects. So I'm going to call this project they'll say make the to do app. Okay, so let me just open it on VS Code. So that's code dot no code dot to do app. Okay, so it has opened here. Yes, I trust the authors. Well, let's go to the terminal. So you can open the terminal from here. Okay, we are going to create a virtual environment because Django works best inside a virtual environment, and you better manage things when you have a virtual environment. So to create a virtual environment, you go with Python -m virtual environment, that's venv, and then you give the name of your virtual environment, that's env, that's my own virtual environment. So you see that the virtual environment has been created here. We are going to activate this virtual environment now. So let's give it some time. It's still loading. So if you try to check inside here, you see it has created so many things, and then all the Python package that you install are going to be installed here. So no need checking it for now. So now let's go with activating the virtual environment. That's env script activate. So this is how we activate a virtual environment. Yeah, so when this is done, you can go ahead and download Django into your virtual environment. To do that, you say pip install Django. Yeah, so pip install Django. So that's it. You wait for the installation to get done. So it's installing. I guess my network is a little bit slow. So that's it. That's installed successfully. So now let's go ahead and create our Django project. You know, Django works with projects and apps. So you create a project and then you install your apps inside. And to do this, you type Python. No, you don't type Python. It's Django admin. Let's first check if Django is successfully installed. Yeah. If you type Django admin, it displays you this list. It shows you the list of commands you have check. You have the make migrations that we are going to use in this video. We have the run server here that we are going to use in this video. We have the start project, start app. I'm gonna explain some of them. So we are going to use the start project for now, this one. So that's Django admin start project. Then we give the name of our project. Our project is, let me just say, Todo app. Todo app. This is the name of our project. Yeah. So you see that our project has been created here, but there's another To-Do app as that exists as a sub project, and I don't want it to be like this. So what I'm going to do is I will delete this and then create a new one and show you how to create a project without creating a sub project. So what you do, you just add a dot. This dot means that here it's the current directory, so you create it inside this current directory. So this is what you do. So now you see that you don't have a folder before you have another folder where you have your manage.py and your project. So your project directly lies inside this folder. So now we can go and let me show you a little bit of what this file is made of. So the init.file basically doesn't contain anything. It's a file that helps Django recognize that this project, this folder is actually the project. So we have the esg.py that we are not going to be using. It's just an app. It's a file that's we use for further configurations that we are not going to be using inside this tutorial. So we have the settings.py. The settings.py is where we are going to configuring everything that you want to configure in our app, in this To-Do app. So to start, we have the base directory. So this line of code is meant for you to get the base directory of your project. Like, it contains the path, and then it also has the file, and then it also takes the parent, if you can see here. So we are going to be using this, and I will show you how. So we have the secret key. This project, each Django project has a secret key. Yeah. So this key is used for the security of your application. So you have debug is equals to true. You having allowed hosts, like where can we connect, like which host allow this app to connect on our on our on our project or our app. So we have the installed apps. These are the apps that have been installed by default, and then you have the middleware that we are not going to be using. We have the templates. I'm going to talk about this. Templates are files that are being used. The template is a folder actually where we use it, where we use that helps us store our HTML files. We have our database here. We are going to be configuring our database here, but I guess we'll be using SQLite. I think in further videos we may use Postgres, but as for now, we'll have to stay with SQLite. This is the default database. So we have some authentication validators that are already pre-configured by Django. Okay, we have the language. You can change the language of Django as you are coding. You can go to French, as you just put FR like FR like this if you want to code in French. But also you are going to stay in English. That's it. So we have the time zone, that's UTC. So let's change it and put GMT. Yeah, GMT. Oh, sorry, it's here. Yeah, GMT. GMT. Okay. Here is use internationalization. So this is for changing language, and then this is the time zone. I think use time zone. Yeah, but I've never used this. So this is the static. So here you are going to be configuring all your static files such as JavaScript, images, and CSS. So this is the auto field. This field actually helps in your model when you are creating a model, and this automatically defines that a model is going to be incremented automatically. Like when you are going to be creating maybe to-dos inside your database, the IDs are going to be incremented automatically. It thanks to this line of code. So you have the URLs. So here you are going to be specifying the URLs of our app. We are coming to that. When we run the app for the first time, we are going to go to this URL admin, and I will show you how it actually works. So we have the WSGI. It has the same function as the ASGI. They are used for the same things. This one means asynchronous, and then this one is web. Okay, so now we have the manage.py. This one is the file that helps us manage the overall structure of our app. Like helps us uh, manage the app from the name. So let's start by using the manage.py so I show you how you can use it to manage your app. So let's create an app. Let's create an app in our project. So we are already inside the project here. So what we are going to do is Python manage.py. Oh, it's not manage.py. Start app. Let's call our app to do. So you see up here, our app has been created here. So here we have the migrations. The migrations is a folder that keeps track of all the changes you have been doing on your database. So Django has a technology called ORM, Object Relational Mapping. This helps you transform Python data structures into database tables and fields and all the others. We'll come to that. We still have the init.py to show that this is an app in Django. You have the admin. Here we can register our models, and you can register our models in the admin. Like we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, here we have the apps. Apps.py. Here is basically it gives the name of our app. So as we name here, we name our app here to do. It's the name. It's the same name here. So this app is kind of a pre-configuration done by Django for our app. So you have the models.py. Here you are going to be declaring our models, and then we'll do that. We are going to create a model for our tasks. Okay, here you have the tests. Here, if you want to write tests for your application, you write them here. And then here we have the views. The views is a folder that helps us write functions for our app. So let's get started. First, let's try to run this app and then make sure everything is working. So we go with okay, wait. We forgot to add our app inside the settings.py because we just created the app. So the first thing to do whenever you create an app is first to add it inside the installed apps. So here you got the install. Let me just say my apps because I'm the one creating these apps. So now you go with to do. Put it inside quotes like this. You added it here. Now you can go to your urls.py here, and then you also add the path of the app you just created. I'll leave it empty, and then I'll say you also need include. That's something they are going to use. Path include. Include URLs dot to do dot URLs to do dot URLs. Okay, so now we have added our app to Django. Now let's run the server and then make sure everything is working. Python manage.py run server. Okay, no module name. Okay, we did not create we did not create the urls.py. Okay, we go to to do app here, and then we create another file called urls.py here. think now it's going to be okay. So basically this url.py is going to help us navigate through our app. So I'm gonna copy this here and paste it here. Then I'll just cancel this and I'll allow it empty for now. Let's run the app. Okay, let's start it again on the server. Okay, our server is running at port 8000. So if we go to port 8000 here, this other app is still running. So let me kill it. Okay, now let's refresh this. Okay, you can see that our app is running successfully at port 8000. So now let's try to change this and have our personal, let's say hello world here. Let's start by saying hello world. We do more after. So hello world here. So let's just have um, the path to a view that says hello world. So let's say path and then we allow it empty and then we go to hello. Yeah, hello, and then let's name it hello. So we just created a path and then you see hello is not yet declared. That's why you're having this error. So now let's go to the views and then declare this view. So you have def render, hello I want to say, and then we pass in the request on the def request. Then we return an HTTP response. Then we pass in, let me just say hello world as we said earlier. So this response has not been added. So let's just add it now. So let's come here and add this hello. So from dot views import hello. Yeah. So let's rerun our server. Let's run our server again. Make sure everything is fine. Then okay, we have hello world. So let me just basically explain what happens here. What happens is, first, at your project level to do app, the app goes to this empty string. It first checks the URL. This is the URL, and then it starts here. So when it is empty, it goes here. So there's a program that checks. Python is interpreted, so it's going to check on this line, and then it's going to notice that, well, admin is not equal to the empty string, and then it's going to check again on the next line. Okay, is this empty string equal to the empty string on the URL? Okay, yeah. So it's going to go to the to-dos. When it arrives here, and then you say, okay, there's another empty string. Okay, the empty string. Okay, yeah, this is it. Okay, this empty string now leads to hello, and then this hello function now is executed and it prints hello world. So that's how you have a hello world here. So we can try and go to admin panel. So you see how it works. So they say no such table Django session. Okay, this is because it's not migrate. So let's create a new terminal and just say python manage.py make migrations. Okay, for now this command won't do much. They will say no change stated. This is because it's not modify models.py. There's still nothing here, but keep it in mind, we are going to be using it. So you have python migrate. So that's it. Our database has been migrated. So now if you come here and then you refresh, you see that we have a very beautiful admin interface, but we don't yet have a user for this. So let's just create a super user. So to do that, you still use the manage.py command here to do that. So we are going to do it by typing python manage.py create super user. So it's going to ask you the name of the user. I will just say Chris. Yeah. Okay, the email I like blank. My password. I'll enter the password. Okay, I'll enter it again. Okay, they are saying that the password. Okay, let me enter it again and take my time. Okay. Now they say password is too short, password is too common entirely, but I'll just accept it because I'm not on production. Why deploying the app? I'll enter a more secure password for that. So super user created successfully. So now you just come here, then you log in, you create, and that you enter your password. So that's it. So this is the Django administration, and then this is where you can manage everything. As for example, you can see the user queues that's already been created here. Uh, Basically, all the our tables in the database, we will be able to manage them from here. So now let's start building the to do app. Let's start building the to do app. So for that, we need to make the designs, and to do the designs we need the templates. So we are going to configure the templates and the static files. So to do that, you go to the settings.py. Guys, remember, whenever you want to make some changes on a database, you always go to the settings.py. So here you need to import something called OS. So you just import OS like this. Then you go to your templates here, and then you say base d. This is the base directory, and then you type here os dot path dot join slash templates. So here we are just saying that on this base directory here, on this base directory, look at templates with S. Look at templates. So we are going to be creating a folder called templates. No, not there. Here. So templates. How is it created inside the to-do? So here we are going to be creating templates. So that's it. So let's just add index.html here. Index.html. And then let's just say, let me just switch to HTML and see here to do app. To do app. And then say, let me just say each one, and this is my to do app. Oh, okay. Now let's try to call this HTML page from our code, or from our app. So we come to our to do app, and we go to the views. Now here, instead of using the render, the HTTP response, we are going to be using this render here. So let's go to render. Yeah, render. Pass the request. Let's pass the request to render, and then we pass the name of our template. What's the name of the template? It was index. It's your index.html. Okay, put it in double quotes. That's it. Now we try to run the server again. The server is already running. Oh, I mixed things up. Wait, let me just try to close everything here, and then just have to. Okay, I'll run the app again. Python manage.py run server. Python manage.py run server. Okay, our server is running. Now let's go here and check. This is not the URL, so it was the empty URL. Okay, they say templates does not exist. You guys, let's try to debug this. Okay, at index.html. Okay, so the code is arriving here and it's failing. So let's try to see why. index.html, well written. Let's go to our settings. It shows that you have a premium settings. Okay, sometimes you also just write it like this. It also works like this. Also works like this. So let's run it again. Okay, our server just crashed. Now okay, let's run it again. Run index.html. What's happening? Template not found. Okay, let me just remove this. Put it in front. Okay, so it was just that. So you can see that the HTML page is now rendering normally, and you can add more to this. You can add colors using CSS. So for adding those colors and all those other things, we need to add static files. We need to add some static URL to our app. So to do that, we go down here, you see static URL, and then below this you just add static files. That's directories. Yeah, static file directories os dot path dot join base d, always the base directory, and then static. This basically says inside the base directory we have a static folder. So let's create that folder again, the same as we did with the templates. So we are going to have here static. So that's it. Inside here we can put our HTML, our CSS. So let's just create CSS dot style.css, and let's try to, we have h1 here, so let's color this this h1 to yellow. So we have h1 color yellow. So this is it. So now let's come here, refresh our app again. The app crashed. Let's run the app again. That's python money.py run server. Okay. Okay. Before we do this, we need to load the static into the HTML page. So to do that, you have to say load then static, because it's just like calling the link to this to the it's just like adding, it's just like writing. Let me just write the HTML of it. It's just like writing like this and then calling it like this. But in Django it doesn't work this way. It won't work if you do it like this. So you have to instead load the static like this, and it will be done. So instead of doing that, you change it and then you do it like this. So that's it. Disable completions. Okay. So here I'm going to say static. So to call it, I'm going to call it like this and say style.css. Okay. So I save it. I come here and I reload it again. Okay, now you see it has changed to yellow. So now let's start building the 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 to-do app. Let's start building the user interface. So for that, I won't start from afresh. I won't start from the beginning because this is not an HTML course. So I'll allow the links to the code in the description of the video, and then you guys will have it. You have access to the code from there. So I'll just copy and paste the CSS. The HTML and CSS that I've already done, because if we want to start from the beginning, it's going to take us a lot of time. So I'll just go ahead and create the base.html. Okay. So I'll copy this code here, and I'll just explain everything very rapidly. Okay, this is the HTML, these are the links that I'll be using. So you see that I'm using Bootstrap. I'm using Bootstrap for this tutorial. We have our title to do app, and we want our background to be black. So we are using BG black. We have a navbar, and this navbar has uh this navbar is having this to do, this Django to do, and this app strong. Okay, and then you have a logout here, and you have this blog content. This blog content helps us to have dynamic pages. I mean, let's move on. I'll do it. I'll explain it better. Why using it? So let's just try to see what it has rendered here. So if you load it, server is running. Okay, it's fine. Now let's go to this index.html. Go to the index.html and I'll replace this code here. So I have this now. So this is the code to have the UI. But I'll just start by deleting everything that has to do with variables in Python. So I'll cancel this. I'll do it again, but for now they may cause errors and they also may confuse you. So we are going to delete everything here. So we have this info. I think that's you are done. So now let's refresh this page again. Oh, what's happening? The server is having a problem. It's not reloading. Let's cancel it and run it again. So what is the problem? Wait, let's go to the views and see what I'm calling from here. Oh, okay guys, this code is actually the code that's supposed to be found inside this index.html. So I have to override it like this. So now if you come here and then you reload it, you see that okay, base.html is not template does not exist base.html. So we come here. We need to change this. So I'll copy everything here, delete it. So this is the code for the base.html. So now it's supposed to work. So now you have this. Okay. As I said, you have to remove everything that has to do with these variables. So inside the index.html, they're talking about this to do thing like this. So we have to remove it here. Just allow them empty. Even here, we have to remove it. Even here, we remove them. Remove everything. Okay. So now let's run it again. Okay. Okay, this is the result. It's not good looking, right? This is because you have not added the CSS to it. Let's go ahead and add some CSS to this. So let's add some CSS. I'm copying the code and then I'll come here. What is this style.css? I'll just override this with this. Okay. Now refresh this. Okay, maybe the server is having a problem. Okay, static.5. They're saying that the static is a 404. Let's go to this index and see static CSS. Okay. I'll just cancel this. So now let's refresh it again. Okay. Well, you can clap for ourselves. you have this nice looking UI. Let's just go ahead and enter two DOM numbers at this level. Down here. Here we have, like, let me just say 1, 1 on 3. So if you refresh, okay, you have this. So now uh let's go ahead and create our models. Let's go ahead and create our models. So to create the models, you go to models.py, and then from here now you say class, let me just say to do, class to do from models dot model, from models dot model. Okay, we want to give a title. So we want to give a title to our to do app. We also want to do, let me just say completed. Completed is equal to models. No, let me just say date time. No, it's a boolean. So boolean field like this, and then let's say by default let it be false. False by default. Okay. Let's also have date added. That's equal to date time field like this. So this is our to do model. Let's just have a small, let's overwrite the function, let's supercharge it. To do that, just say def string like this, save the title. Okay, so now let's migrate. Did you mean model? Okay, it's with big M here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make the migrations again. Remember the command I was talking about in the beginning. Now that we have modified our models, now let's go ahead and migrate. Make the migrations first. So now you see that it's telling you migration for to do migration created model to do. So if you go to the migrations of the to do, now you see this folder. That is it, that it has generated a file with all our migrations inside. So you see the ID that's been defined by Django by default. It's going to be the primary key. That's it. Um, you see our title that we gave text field, and completed, that's a boolean, and also date added. So it has created it. Now we need to you need to migrate this into the database. To do that, we go with Python make migrations. Python.py migrate, excuse me. So now it has been migrated. Okay, now we are going to add this app into our admin side here. So let me just go there first. That's admin. Yeah. Okay. Here you are going to add that table here, the table to do. To do that, you just come here and say admin dot site dot register. Oh, sorry. Register to do. But to do is not imported, so let's import it from the dot models. That's it. It's there. So now, if you come here to this app and then you refresh it, you see the to dos here, and then we have nothing yet inside. And if you try to add, you see that you can add the title, you can say completed or not, and then you also have an added date here. So you can add a date, you can choose today. But let's not add anything here. Let's just add some dummy data. So you see how it works. Let me just say today, and then save. So that's it. So our first task is added. So you can also edit it when you click on it. So that's it. Now that everything seems to be working perfectly, now let's go and add the logic for creating. Let's add the logic for creating a task. So when you are going to be clicking here, it's going to, when you are going to add something here, and then whenever you'll be clicking on this plus button, it's going to add a task here. Okay, so let's do that. So you go to your views.py. Go to the views.py. I'm going to override this function here and then use class-based views. So I'll say class create to do view. Let me take it from the views here. So I'll say views from Django dot views. I think that's it. Yeah, import view. Okay. So let's just say def get, then we pass self this object-oriented programming request, also pass the request, and then now let's just say return render request index.html. Okay, and then let's see if everything is working perfectly. Okay, the server is having a small issue. Okay, they're saying hello, cannot import. Okay, you know, we just deleted this hello and now it's causing problems. Let's just comment it for now. And no, let's not comment it. Let's change it to, let's instead call the create to do view here and use it here. Create to do view as view. No, so note the difference. This is a class, so now we have to call it as view so that it should like recognize it as a function. So we pass hello and all the others. So now you can let me run it again. Okay, now it's working. So that's it. You have this. So this view that we just entered here, basically it does the same thing as what it was doing previously. So let's add functionality to it. So as we add this text here, we add this button here. So basically here we have a form. We have a form here. This is a form. This is a form. So let's check this form here. So I think it starts here. This form, this is the form, and then this is it. This is the input where it says write your tax. I think if I delete everything here, you see it. Write your next tax. That's it. Okay, it has name to do. So let's go to our views and add the name. Okay, and take the name because it's a request. Because whenever you click on this plus button, it's going to send a request into the database, and then you need to get these values. And then to get these values, what you do is, let me just say to do is a variable, and then you get this request by saying request dot post, because this is a post they are doing. Oh guys, we have an issue here. We need to instead define a post, def post here, self request also, because you can't be handling a post request inside a get request, you understand? So in here you are doing this. So to do is equal to request dot post dot get. So you get this name. It was to do, right? Let's check it again. Index.html here. Okay, name to do. That's it. So what is the views? Okay, let me just carry it here. I love having my views at the here. Okay. So the name to do. So we are just taking this value, and then what are we doing with this value? Let's just print it to see what it gives us first. So that's print request dot post, yeah, dot get to do. So we are going to print this and see. Let's just just return this and then say render. This is just for now. It's not it's not this is not how we do things. I just want to show you something. So we will soon remove this. So I just want to show you how this data is being taken from here. So let's write big cake at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. So I just sent it. Now if you check, you see that's it, that this here, this is the text that we just took. This is bake cake at 2 p.m. So it shows that it went to the back end. It took the data from the front end and now we have it here in the back end. So now we will use it to create a to do. This our model, we need a title and then completed, and then this one is added automatically. So let's just change it to true. So remember, whenever you change your models.py, you need to make migrations because this is a change. So you see alter field date added on to do. So it says that the date added to it has been changed. Now you need to run the migrations again. That's make the migrations. So now we say applying blah blah, alter to do, date added is okay. Now you go back to the views. Since this one is working, you are going to remove it. Okay. Now basically what we do here is we create the to do. So to do that, let's just say new to do is equal to do as the name of the model. To do, we do not import the to do. So the to do model from the models import to do. So that's it. From to do objects dot create. So you are creating an object of to do. You pass in for the title, you give it to do, and for completed is false by default because as you are creating a task, it's not yet done. So you just put it false, and then you say new to do dot save. Here your to do has successfully been created, and then you can just redirect this. You can just redirect this to. Okay, we did not import redirect, so it's the same. It's from here to okay. Redirect. If you check the URLs, this hello name. So this name basically is a reference to this view. So let's just say with redirect hello. So this is it. So now let's try to okay, the server is still running. Let's run this and see if it's working perfectly. So I'll just say study and then add it. Okay, if nothing is happening, it means it's fine. So now let's show this data. Let's show this data. Let's show this data to our user who is using our to-do app. So to show this data, we are going to use this get method here. We're going to use this get method here. So first of all, we need to get. Let me just show you that the thing is actually there. On the admin, we can see it on our admin, the admin panel here. So that is it. Study again. Let me just go ahead and add a new one. Just copy this here, open it here, so that I will not be changing it every time. So let me add another task here called drink water. Here I say add. Then you refresh. You see drink 3 liters of water. So it's actually working. So now let's display this data on the screen. To do that, let's get all the tasks found in the database. So let's just say to do plural form like this, and then say to do dot objects dot all. So I'm just from getting all this data. Let me be writing comments and I'll say get all Okay, from here now, I'll pass into the context. This context helps us send variables from the back end to the front end. So, and I also pass it here. I'll pass this context here. That's that's as a parameter of the render function. This render is going to render this HTML page and then also have these values being passed to it at the same time. So now let's go to our page and then watch these to-dos. Like, where is it coming from? Like, let's display them. That's what I mean. So we will come on the index here. Okay, where do we display the data? Okay, if you see, okay, this is it. It's here. This tax item. Okay, this is it. So this is where we are going to be displaying this data. So this is a div. First of all, there are tasks that are going to be repeated. I mean, not repeated. We have to create several tasks. So we need a for loop to do that. We need a for loop to do that. So let's control X all this, and what we do, we create a for loop. Let's just say for to do in to dos. Note that this to dos here is it has to be the same name as this to do here. It has to be the same name. So this here and this are supposed to be the same to make things work normally. So now we have our for loop. So we have from here to here. You are going to be repeating these lines of code for the number of tasks that are into our database. So now let's display this. Let's display it here. I'll display it here. I think it's here. It's down here. Okay. Let's say to do dot title. Note that this title here now it's this is referencing the name of the title. So if you want to access completed or not, um we also you can just also write here completed. So that's it. That's how Django works. But in our case, we want to display this title. So now let's go here and check if it's working. Okay. Oh, it has added it at the end here. This is it. Then this study again, and then this is the drink. Okay. Let's it means it's not here. Let's cut it from here and put it here. It should be here. So you refresh. Okay, now you see that's it. So here you have uh this SSD dummy data that added from the database. You have study again. We have drink 3 liters of water. Now let's add another task. Let me just say write Python code. Write Python code. So this is it. Now you add it. So that's it. Write Python code. So we are able to add some tasks to our database, to our project. I mean, so if you even go to the database and check, you see that we did this write Python code. So everything has been created successfully. So now let's try to edit this data. So I wonder when I click on on this on this task, it should open an edit button because I want to change this name. This is not well written because I was hurrying and I was not write it very well. So now let's create an edit page to edit this data. So we have edit.html. That's it. So I'll, I already have my HTML being written so that we won't waste time writing HTML code. So I'll just delete everything that may cause problems. So end task. So that's it. Yeah. Now let's run this and make sure it's running. Okay, so if you go here, okay, as I haven't passed the link to it. So the link, I have to pass it here inside this. There's an A tag at this level. Okay, this is it. So I need to pass the link to the edit page here. So what I do is I go to the views first, and then I declare another class base view edit to do view from view. I'll pass the I'll redefine the get method here, request, and to edit you need to pass the ID of the of the current to do item. So you need to pass this ID because how do you know they are editing this particular task? How do you know they are editing this one? How do you know they are editing this one? How do I know that I'm editing just drinking water? How do I know that I'm editing the right Python code? To know that I'm passing in the ID of that task. So I need that task. I need the ID, and that's it. So to get now, I have the ID. Now I need to get it. I need to get the actual task. So what I do is I do to do dot objects dot dot get, yeah, get ID is equal to task ID like this. So I'm just from getting this data. I'm getting this ID. This ID like this ID here is the ID that we have here. Yeah, here let me show you inside this to do. You see that okay, the ID here is not showing. ID here is not showing. But when we made the migrations, you could see that this ID here, this is it, it's a field in our database. So I'm saying that ID is equal to task ID. So I'm actually getting only the value just for this task. So that's what I'm doing. So now I've I got that task. So I'm just going to return uh to return the index. No, now it's no more index.html, but it is edit.html. Okay, guys, let's do things like pros. So that's template name, so that we will not have to edit the names everywhere whenever we are modifying our code. This is for maintainability. So we are going to have it like that. So that's template name. Okay, it's a class, so that you have to add self here. Self.template name. So you do same here with this create to do view. That's it was index.html. So you come here, template. Okay, self.template. Self.template. Okay. Okay, so here we pass it in the context because we need to pass this task to our edit page, and then we do that in the context. We always pass it through the context. So that's task task as a task variable. Okay, now we need to register this view into our URLs. So that's it. We come here, we write path. Let's just say edit. Then we need to pass the ID in the URL. So that's it's an integer, don't forget. Then we write it as task ID. Remember that this task ID here, this name task ID should be the same as let me cancel this. It should be the same as this task ID received here. So it's actually a keyword argument. I don't know if you know keywords argument, like you write it like this, that is how we define keywords argument. So there are args and quacks. So let's go to the URLs and finish what you have there. So here, let's import our edit. So you have edit to do view. Edit to do view. Let's add it here. Edit to do view dot as view. Don't forget. Always add it like this and then say name. Let's just say edit. Okay. Come on. Now this is edit. This edit is the name of our view. It's the name of our view. Now we need to call it inside this index.html at this level. So we are going to say edit. That's it. And then we are going to pass in the URL, the ID. I mean, we are going to pass in the ID of this current task because we are inside this loop. So what we do is we go to to-do.id. So we are looping through these to-dos and then having each to-do. And then for each of those to-dos, we have to-do IDs. So that's what we are doing. So now you see that this format matches the format in the URLs that we notice the okay, this is it, edit, and then this is it. So this is the tax ID. We are saying that this tax ID is an integer. And then also inside our views, we are passing, I mean, in our URL here, we pass it like this. So let's try and see if it's working. So we refresh the page. You see that if I click here now, it's opening. It's opening now. So it means that we have successfully passed that data here. Now let's display the title here. To do that is very simple. You just go to this edit.html here and edit.html, yeah, and at this level where you have this input type number, okay, this is the title here, this is the title. Here you can pass what was the name of this? Okay, the name is task. So we are going to have task.html. So that is it. Here we have task.html. I mean task.title. Sorry guys. And then I think this we don't actually need. I don't know. As for now, let's just allow it like this. Okay. Okay, now you see that we have this. Let's just go back and click on study again. You have study again, it's working. When you click on drink, like, let me just say per day so that you see. I've not yet implemented the. So for now, the post is not yet working. The post is not working. If you look at this edit page, you are going to see that we have a form here. We have a form here. So we need to submit this form as a post because you have a method here, post, that's it. You can see it here. Now we need to write the post method of the edit to do view. So we come here, we have def post self request. Don't forget, always pass the ID when you are working with the single instance of. So here now we are going to get that value that we pass here. If you come to the edit, you are going to see that we have title. So we are trying to modify this title. So what we do is we go back to the views and we get it. So we say title is equal to request dot post dot get title. Title. Okay, we have this title. Now we need to use this ID that we have here to get the task we want, and from that task we are going to edit the title of the task using this new title that we have here. So the first step we had was getting the new title. Now what you are doing is getting the task, of getting the task we are modifying or editing. Getting the task you're editing. Okay, now to get this task, what we do is task is equal to do dot objects dot get 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 title. I mean get ID is equal to task ID. So that's it. We are just from getting it. Now let's update this task title. So to update the task title, we just say task dot title is equal to task dot title is equal to title. So to make things look good, let's just say new title. Okay, so now we have this new title, and then you save it. New dot save. I mean task dot save. So you save this. When this is done, you say return redirect it to, let's look at our URLs. The URLs, redirect it to, let's just go back to hello. Yeah, let's go back to hello. That means to the index page. So you have to redirect it here. So let's make sure everything is working properly. So let's refresh this. Then okay, it shows that it's working. So let's try to edit this. So we have this. Let's say watch my tutorials. Okay, it's working. So you see here you have watch my tutorials. Let's say study. Let's not say this. Let's not say study again. Let's say study at 4 hour. Let me do 3 a.m. Oh, I write the number 3 a.m. So you see that when you edit it, okay, that's it. Study at 3 a.m. Now it's working. If you check inside our database, you see that the values that you have changed here, they have also changed in our database. So that's it. So now let's try to delete. Let's try to delete these tasks. Let's try to delete. Just try to delete this. So as we click on this button, they are going to be deleted tasks. So to do that, let's go here again and add a template called delete.html. So my code for that is already ready. Copy. Yeah, it's ready. So that's it. Now let's write the delete function view. So we write another class. Okay, you have class delete to do view. Okay guys, remember when you write functions, you always write it with lowercase letters. So you have view like this. Now def get. When you delete you delete a particular task from the database. So you always need to pass the task ID. That means we are deleting this particular task. So it's basically the same function here. So I'm just going to copy and paste to save time. Okay, save template name. Okay, now but the template name now is different. Our template name is different here. So our template name is going to be delete.html. It's equal to delete.html. Okay, this is our template name. Okay, so now let's make sure it's working and just click on this. Okay, we need to add it first to our URLs. So we come here and say delete to do view. So we come here and then we say path delete. Again, we pass the ID of the task you want to delete as an integer, not a string. Yes. And then now we say delete dot as view name delete. So now let's call this inside the function. So you see this fat trash is this trash here that is displaying whenever you hover. So here you write delete slash, you pass the ID that's task. Now it's to do dot id, because remember here we are still inside this loop, so we are passing the same ID here. It makes sense. Okay, now let's just click on it. They say page not found with small error. Click on it, page not found. Okay, I did not spell delete in the right way. We need a T here. T. Okay, this is delete. Okay, now let's go and refresh this page first of all. Then now you click here. Okay, now it's working. So this delete. Watch my tutorial. So I forgot to see it's working. We have okay. This was edit. So if you go to delete study at this, you see delete task study at 3 a.m. So let me just explain what I did here. This is the URLs. So it passes to the URLs and go to the delete view, and then from this delete view it goes to this delete.html. So basically here we are passing that the task that we pass here from our context to our delete page. So this task.title that I just added here. So this task delete task, this is the title. So that is it, delete task. If you look at it, this is it. Here you see the title of the task, and then I just added it as disabled, so you cannot edit it again, so you can just delete it. So this page is specifically just for deleting tasks. So I'm passing this title here for you guys to delete it, and I'm also having this ID that I'm passing on this same page, but it is hidden because I always need the ID of the task I'm working on. I always need the ID. And also I added all this inside the form in order to submit it. So now let's submit a post, because this delete view is a post that we are making in order to delete it from the database. So now let's write the logic for the post in order to delete this. So you have def post self request task id, task id as I passed. You have task id. Now what we are going to do is we are just going to take that task, that's request, task be equal to task id be equal to request dot post dot get. Let me look at it again. I think it's delete. Okay, you're taking this value and the name is id, right? Yeah, the name is id. So this is id here. Just take this id. Then now you say task. You are getting the task now. Okay, but we already have the task id, right? This is our task id here. We already have the task id. We don't need to get this id again. It's tautology. We don't need that. So we directly go to the task and then say to do dot objects dot get. You get the id is equal to task id. Okay, that's it. Now since you have this, you can just go ahead and delete this task. That's it. That's how you do it. Task.delete. And then now you say task. Yeah, it's okay, it's done. So you just return. The delete function is not very difficult. It's very simple. The logic is clear. So return render or redirect is redirect to hello. Okay, so that is it. Now let's check if it's working. Let's just refresh this page. So if you click on this delete button, the study at 3 a.m. will disappear. So that's it. That's it. Study at 3 a.m. has disappeared. So let's write some rubbish, add it, and then now if you click on it, it's going to say okay, now we did it. So the rubbish has disappeared. So now that's it. It's done. So we can see that here you have 3 tasks. So let me just add another task here. Okay, we need to let's now write the logic for accepting for for accepting tasks, like for meeting for ticking these to dos. As you be clicking here, you click here and then click on done. You have this task added down here on this already done task. Okay, so let's write another function here. That's class tick. No, let me just say accept to do view. Okay, this one is for actually ticking the things, ticking the tags. So we also have def get self request yeah, here you don't need the ID. Okay, so now what you do here, okay, here we will need the template name. Template name is equal to its index, so we are going to be working with this index.html here. So now here we are going to let's go to the index.html so I should show you. So you see that it's inside this form here. This is where we are adding it. So when you write this input, the name is to do. So you are going to get this to do from here. You are going to get this to do. No, this is when you are creating, right? Write your task. Okay, no, it's not here. You are going to be working with this checkbox. Sorry. So you are here with the checkbox. So we are going to get as we will be ticking, like this, we will be getting these IDs, the value of these IDs. So I'll just type here value. I'll take this ID, that's to do ID. I'll just copy it from here. No need writing it again while it's there. So that's it. I'll be taking this ID like this. Yeah, and I think that's all I'll be taking here. That's all. Yeah, I'll be taking the IDs and then changing their status. That's what I'll be doing. So let's do that. So I'll just say if request dot post is valid. So if you have a request dot post, let's just say dones, the ones that have been ticked, right? Let's just say dones. That will be request dot post dot get list. Now you are using the get list. Why? Because this loop is going to generate more than one. So we need a list of them. So we get them all the ones that have been ticked. So that's what we are doing. So we go back to the views. So we get the dones written like this. Now let's write a for loop to go through all of these dones and get the IDs and modify them. So we just say for done in dones, okay, it's the done ID. We are taking the IDs, right? So it's done ID here. So for done ID, now we get the done. Let me write some comments. Get the IDs of the done tasks. Okay, that's done is equal to to do dot get, objects dot get id is equal to done id. So this is what we are doing. Done is equal to do objects dot get id is equal to done id. Nice. Now you need to update the status of this. You say done dot completed. Done dot completed is equal to true. Because as we were creating it, if you check our models, we set them to false in the beginning. But now as we clicked on it and then we need to update it, like, okay, it's done now, it's completed, yes. So we pass it and it becomes true. So we pass it here and say true, and then we say done dot save. So that's it. Leave the small n here. Okay, so this is the end of the logic for this one. And then now here you return redirect to the home, hello. Okay, that's the index page. Okay, so this is, unfortunately, this is the get method, because you're actually getting it from the post. This is the post method. Sorry, this is the post method. Now you are going to write the get method. Sorry, like really sorry about this confusion. So whenever you are submitting a form, we submit it to a post, and then when you are getting something, you're just getting a page, you go with the get. So now there are certain information that I want to get from this. I want to get from the info from the database and display it on my home, on my index.html page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the total number of tags that are inside the database, and then also get the number of undone tasks, like tasks that have not been completed. I'll pass these two data to the database. So what I'll do is I will just I'll just query the database by saying done is equal to let me just write well. I'll say tax completed is equal to their tax completed. So there are many tasks. I'll say to do dot objects dot filter. So now I'm getting it. I'm taking several elements to the database. Here we are just taking one, so that's why I used get. But now as we are taking many, we are taking now, if you are using the filter method. So filter where completed is equal to task completed. Okay, is equal to true. Now I will say task undone is equal to this same logic here, because you are taking many and then convert them to not convert them. I wanted to say choose only the ones that are not yet done, where completed is equal to false. Okay. Now what I have to do here is I'll pass the context. I'll pass them to context. So first I'll have my done task, that's task completed. Then I'll also have my undone stars here, that's task undone. Now we need to count the number of the total number of tasks that are found in the database. So to do that, let's just say total and say tasks undone.count as a function plus task completed dot count like this. So this is the total number of tasks that are found in the database. Okay, is there any information we need to gain? We are going to write this here, write that here. Okay, I think it's all. Okay, so this get method is completed. So now we are going to render, return, redirect. Return first, then redirect this to hello. You are going to copy this and then add and then paste it into this create to do, because this one is more complete. Here I was just passing the to dos, but here I'm passing a whole lot of things that really enhance the functionality of our app. So now I need to go back to the index and edit everything here. So here now we are passing the tags that are not yet done. So these are the tags, these are the undones, right? Undones, yeah. And then down here we need to pass the tasks that are already done. So I first need to write my for loop. With this one opens here. So I need to write my for loop first. So this one opens here. Okay. So I'll just cut this and say for tasks for to do. Sorry. So we have dones. Now you copy it here. And then you add this and say to do the title. Okay, we also forgot to add the delete functionality on this trash can down here. So you can just copy it here and add it here. So that is it, delete. So fat trash, okay. Now here, up here, at this level, we have to pass in the total. So here you just say total here. And then here, you need to pass the undones dot count. I don't know if this function is going to work. Let's just try it, but I'm not sure. So let's run this. So that's it, it's working. It's definitely working. So let's make sure everything works normally. So actually you have 3 and 4. Let's add the tasks. Let's just say wake up early here. Okay, it's 5 and 4. So 5 tasks, 5 tasks in total, but 4 not yet done. So now let's just click here and I don't want to click there. I want to tick this and make sure I drank my 3 liters of water and then I wrote Python code this morning. So I want to say done. Okay, they are saying that the page was not found. So let's check it. Let's check this. So we go back here and then we look at our accept to do view. Well, it's fine. Now let's go back. Let's go to the URL. It's like is not added to the URLs. So that was the problem. So we say path done. I'll call it like this. Path done. Accept to do view. Let me just call it here. accept to do view dot as, let me add this comma here, as view name is equal to do. Let me just say done. Now this is done. So I need to add this done URL on inside this HTML page. So as we click on this done button here, we are going to done. That is it. So this done here is responsible for taking the values of the IDs and then converting them into computed as true. So let's run this. Wait, okay. This is the URL that the problem. Now let's go to done. Okay. So let's try it again. Drinking tea water and writing Python code done. Okay, it's working. So this is not good. Let's edit it and just say sleep and then edit. Okay, the edit is good. I'll sleep in the night, but I woke up early today. Okay, so we have just one task left at the end of the day. So guys, this is the end of my video. Hope you guys learned a lot. I'll drop the code in the links to the GitHub in the description. So you guys should subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you very much for listening.